Hey everybody, I've been getting several requests from people to show how to use OBS or Open Broadcast Software for streaming, because you can do different tricks and stuff. Now there's lots of videos out there, but I thought I'd do one just to kind of be a little bit more focused on what we do. So first thing you do is you need to go to this web address here, https obsproject.com. Let me kind of zoom in a bit there so you can see it. So go there and you can see you can download it. It's free software, which is really great. It's a great piece of software. So you can either click directly on these things for either Windows download or a Mac or a Linux, or if you want to kind of look at different options, you can go download and click on the Microsoft here, and you get the different options for Microsoft or Apple and different. But I would just go here and depending on your desktop, just download it. So once you download it, it'll install and look something like this. So this is OBS Studio. So I'll open this up. This now has my current running system. Oops. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of things. And this is what I used for a live I did a couple of days ago. But as you can see, let me just go through what you see here so that it'll make a little bit of sense. So up here you have what's called a profile. A profile is basically all your settings. Now I've got settings to go to Twitch, to stream this Twitch, or to my wife's Facebook, my Facebook, and 100x. And then scene collections. Scene collections are these down here. Now scene collection is a collection of different resources. So for instance, on one you can have input from one camera, another one you may have input from other things, and you can put scenes together, and then while you're streaming you can just go between the different scenes to look at either different cameras or different graphics, or if you want to tell a story. With each scene you have a source, and the source basically defines what's in a scene. So in this case here I have names, which is text, which is this little guy here, and then I have audio input, which is coming from my microphone, which you're seeing right there, and then you have video capture, which is the camera. Now I've got a camera on my screen. You can see at the top there, but if you look in the back there, just at the back, let me zoom in on that little guy there. Yeah, you can see it. That's a little camera I have behind me, and well, we'll see that in a second. So let me zoom back out again. So here you see your scenes. If I click on that, you can see there's other things there in my sources, and when you can go over it, they kind of highlight. And then you go to vision, and you can see that another one. This is where I have my vision thing, and then here is a little squirrel that comes just for fun. So we'll go ahead and we'll create our sources. Over here you have your transitions. So when I go between scenes, this transitions fade, so it will fade between scenes. You can add more transitions, and I'll show you. And then over here you have controls. Here you click on this button to start streaming. There you can start recording, so you can actually record while you're streaming. You can record your same video stuff to hard disks, and so you can have a much better quality on your hard disk, and you can do different things. Like for instance, I use that to upload to YouTube, so you get a better quality. Studio mode, this basically shows you, splits into two, shows you what will go out for streaming and for recording, and here's the preview, what's next. So for instance, if I click on this, I can see what's next. So I can be streaming here, and I look here and say, okay, no, I don't want that. Maybe I want that, maybe I want that. Then I just do transition, and I'll actually transition over to this screen here. But for what we can do, we'll just stick to Studio and click on the first one there. And then settings we'll go to in a second, then exit, of course, exit. So let's do this. Let's go here to new, let's create a new profile. And I'll call this 100x demo. Okay, and then I'll go to scene collection, and I'll do new there too, and I'll call it 100x demo, and that'll be for my scenes. Okay, so now you can see it's wiped out all the scenes. I just has one default one and no sources. So when you first start it, this is what you'll get. This is what it'll look like the first time. But we'll create different scenes, different profiles for what we do. Now we'll create a new profile for this. So let's do this first. Let's create a profile. Go to settings over here, and click on settings, and this is where we're going to set up our environment. General, you can look for general, I mean your themes and stuff like that. There's not really much there I do change, so you can kind of go through it. Stream, now this is important. Stream is where will I stream to? You have different services, so they'll allow you to stream to Twitch, to YouTube, Smashcast, Mixer. Smashcast, Mixer, and Restream are streaming services. And if you're not familiar with them, you can look them up. They'll allow you to stream to different sources. If you had, for instance, to YouTube and to Twitter or things like that, you can set up different things. And also you can, if you have some kind of website, you can stream to that website as well at the same time. We use one of these streams at church where we stream to Facebook, and then we also stream to our app, our phone app, as well as the website. So Twitter, you can stream to Twitter. So we'll go to Facebook Live. That's what we're going to do. Now, you don't have to worry about the server too much, because that will choose a default server. Stream keys, now this is important. To know where to stream to, you have to get a stream key. Now you ask, how do I get a stream key? Well, let's go to our Facebook page. So here we go. This is our acceleration group. Now what you want to do is you need to make sure you're in the right group. Okay, otherwise you may be streaming to your personal page or whatever. So click on your group, or if it's to your own page, you can do it to your own page. Now if you go down to where you have your post, you see this little thing here that says live video. Click on that little guy. Okay, now if you had a camera, this would show you a camera, but we want to do connect because we want to stream from our software. And then here, you make sure you got stream key, and then click on this guy here, use persistent key. If you do that, this key here that's here, will be valid for any time you go live again. If you didn't, then you would get a new stream key each time, and then you'd have to copy and paste that new stream key in here. So you don't need to do that. So click on use persistent key, and then you've got your key here, and now you see I blurred it out because I don't want you to see my key, because then you can stream to my site, which I don't want you to do. Copy, then come over here, go to there, right click and paste, and there you go. It's pasted your stream key in there. That's it. Now let's go over to output. So output determines where your different output settings. Now in simple mode, this is in simple mode right now, you just have your video bitrate there, and your audio bitrate, your software encoder. Actually, let me go to advanced. I really want to do advanced for what we're doing. I just remembered, because there's a couple of things you need to change for Facebook. Otherwise, you'll get some skipping. So let's go to advanced. Ignore what I just said. We'll go to click on advanced streaming. Click on audio 1. Your encoder. Your default is X264, which is fine for most people. If you click on that, for me, I have my hardware encoders, which just means it takes less burden on your PC. So click on that. Well, we'll stay on the 264 for what we're doing. Rescale output. We'll do that. Now, what this does is your screen size is 1920. By rescaling output, we're saying, okay, for Facebook, it needs to be 1280 by 720. Okay, so this allows me to have standard graphics at my standard size of 1920, and then it will squeeze it down for Facebook. Facebook will only take this for Facebook Live, that is. Your rate control, leave it at CBR. Your bit rate, change your bit rate to, depends on your internet provider. For me, I have a gigabit internet, so I can go up to Facebook's limit, which is for Facebook Live is 4,000. But I find that I get a little bit of skipping and stuff. And if you get some skipping, you can play around with that. But typically, I would probably bring it down to 2,500, which is fine for what you're doing. If you want to, you can probably bring it down to 1,500 or 1,000 if you're getting a little bit of problems with your internet connection. Keyframe. This is important. Auto means it'll be automatic, which is okay. But for Facebook, it says it needs to be a minimum of 2, so I'm using 2. And this is for your other thing. You don't really need to worry about that. Recording. This is if you want to record your video stream to the hard disk. You can choose where you want to record your video, what type of format. I'll choose MP4 because MP4 I like which audio track. We'll say audio track 1, and then your encoder. It'll use whatever you're using for streaming if you want, or you can use something different depending on what you have there. That's it. Audio. Oh yeah, go to audio. Click on 128. Facebook will want. Facebook says either 96 or 128. 128 will give you a little bit better quality audio. Audio here, sample rate 44.1K is probably what you want. Channel, stereo. You don't need to change anything else here. Video. So here it has my canvas, which is the thing at the back there. That's my standard 1920, and then output is scaled to 1280 for Facebook. Now you may ask why even bother with that. Well, because if I record, I'm going to record in 1920 because then I can record it on my computer, and then I can upload it to Facebook at full quality. While yeah, it's a little bit lesser quality at 1280. But that's up to you. Make sure that your frames per second (FPS) is at 30. That's it. Hotkeys. You can add hotkeys if you want to have some keys to start stuff, but that's not direct, and you don't really need to change anything else here. So that's it. Say okay. Now this is automatically now saved in your profile. It's a 100x demo. There's my profile. Now, screen collections. Make sure it's on your 100x demo. Now down here, this is where you can add your new scenes, delete new scenes, and then you can order it. So we have one there right now. So I'm going to rename this. Let me right click on that and rename it to demo. I'll call it demo. How's that? Okay. And then now we have to go over here and get some sources. So let's click on here, and then you've got a whole selection of sources. Let me just zoom in for a second so you can see the sources. You can see now audio capture is for audio, so you can, if you have a microphone like I do, you can either capture it from the microphone, or if you want it from your cameras, you can do it from your cameras, or if you have other things you can get it, so that will come through. So that's the source for that. Browser, if you have your browser, you can actually bring browser as a source, and so that will show on your screen. Color source, that's just like, you know, one of those little color bands. Display capture, displays if you want to capture it from a screen. So if you have two screens like I do, I can capture it from one screen if I want to. Image, if I want to capture from, I want to bring an image into as a source into my scene. Slideshow show is just a selection of slides, images that will kind of slide through. Media source can be other videos, could be sound you want to bring in. NDI, that's a plugin I put in there. NDI will allow me to have network cameras. Like for instance, in production, we have cameras that have NDI distribution, and so I can capture those and bring those into here from other cameras. Also, some of your security cameras, you can also use NDI, and so you can actually pull in security cameras and stuff. You can have another scene as a input. Text, this is where you want to kind of get text and put text into your screen. Video capture is where you get your video from a camera. Windows capture is where you can get input from a program that's open. So if you have any programs that are open, like for instance, I may have PowerPoint open, and so I can actually get a window capture from an application and show that in my scenes. Okay, so what I'll do for our purposes, I will grab a video capture. Okay, and then let me zoom out again. Now here you name that source. So for my purposes, I'll say front camera. Once I've named it front camera, then it's available, and anytime I create another scene as it exists, I say okay, and there you go. We've got my front camera here on my screen. Now what we're going to do is you can click on device, and you can see here I have my front screen. This one is my back. You can see the one on the top behind me. Logic capture, I don't have that one connected right now, but if we go to the front one, now here's something that's different. Actually, let me show you that. I'll just go with this. If you click OK, this is coming at the full specifications or the full kind of resolution from the camera. Now I've got a pretty good camera there, but if I try to stretch this, you grab the little box here and try to stretch this so it fills in my view, you can see that it's actually smaller than my resolution. So I'd have to drag it all the way to here, which is fine, but it doesn't look as good. I mean, the resolution is a little bit better, it's a little bit different. So let me bring it down. I'll bring it back down again, and then we'll do something tricky. Also, you can move it around your scene. So let's go back up here, and I'll move it down like that, and then let's go back and let's double click to get it back to there. So what I want to do is, here actually while we're talking about, there's a little button here called configure video. Depending on your video card, you click on that and you can change your brightness, you can go camera control, you can have turn off autofocus and things like that if you want to. But what I typically do is I come down here to resolution and click on custom. Okay, now you can see it went off at the back. Then I click on resolution, and then I pick what I want, and I want 1920 because that's the size of my screen. And I would do that, bang, you can see it's in the back there. Make sure that your frames are set at match output, and it'll make sure it's corrected. And that's it. So I say okay, and then now if I go back to this and I stretch it, okay, bang, it fits into my screen. So there you go. That is now the screen. So if I went to stream, now it would stream what's here. Now this is fine, and I can create another stream. Let me go back here. Create another stream. I'll call it demo 2 scene. Say okay, and then it's gone away. So let me go here and I'll add that, and I'll go to another video capture. Okay, and then I'll say back camera, say okay. I'll click on this thing and go to that guy, and you can see it back. Hey, I'll do the same thing. I'll come over here, I'll say custom, resolution will be 1920, and we say okay. And there you go, you've got the back of me. You can see where my camera is on the front there, and you can see my 2 screens and outside. So that's the outside. So now let me go back to scene 1. So now you can see here's the, so by setting up the scenes, I can be talking, say, so typically what I do is I have the other camera that right now is in the back there, but I have a little arm here, and so typically I'll have that looking down on my work area over there. And so I can show kind of a hands view of what we're doing. And Sarah uses that sometimes when she's doing different crafts. So she can be talking to you like that, and then flip to the next camera and you can be looking at the screen. So there's different things you can do. So let's do a few more fun things here. So I've got a demo. I can do, say for instance, I want to do picture in picture. That might be something. Let me go over here. So let's say my demo. And but you want to look at the front of my front. So I'll go back here, add another source to it, go to my videos, video capture, and then let me see here, I've already got my front camera. So let me click on my front camera, add existing, go to my front camera, say okay. Now I want to make that small, like that, just drag it, and then I can put it down here, and now there you go. Bang, I've got picture in picture. Now how this works, the sources, is that it's layered depending on the order here. So whatever's at the top is at the front, and then the next comes behind it, and the next one will be behind that. So for instance, you can see back is there, and this is here. I can change the order there, and I'll show you where I can do that. Now if I go here, click on that and go to text, and here I can go to text. I can say my name, create new. And then I can choose my fonts. Let me go to, say, I know, there, semi-bold. I go to grade 2 and say okay. And then I can say Andrew. Okay, there's my name. I can do different things, like I can make it vertical. So right now it's up here. I can do vertical so it goes up and down. Let me take that off. Then I can change the text of my font. I will go with. Actually, I'll leave it as white for now. Let me cancel that. Actually, no, I'll change the color. Let's go to olive, because olive is just cool. And then I can make it opaque, so you can see it changes the transparency of the thing. Then I go background. I can make it gradient. I can change the background, but I'll leave it as black. Then I can change the transparency of the background. And you can see it makes it darker. So I can choose something like that, like a halfway, say 50%. Alignments, and that's all fairly explanatory. I say okay. Now there we go. I've got my name. I can shove it right there. Yeah, with the transparency there. So that's how you can order it. So now here at the moment you can see it's at the top. So if I pull it over here, it's in front of that video because it goes by order. Now if I wanted to do it, I can move it. Let me move this out here, and I can move the order down. So now the front camera is at the top, then the name. So now you see it's in front here, but if I go behind, you can see it goes behind. Okay, but let me go put it back up again. Okay, other things you can do, you can, let me add something here. Let me go to media. If I add media, I'll say, Colby 1. Say okay, and then I go press them there, and then let me go to where I have some images I want to bring in. Projects here, 100x images. Oops, actually no, I made a mistake there. Let me cancel that. Let me actually delete it there. Yeah, I want to delete that. I want to actually go here and go image. Okay, I'll just call it image. I'm gonna call it Colby Andrew. Say okay. I'll go to image, click on that, and then I've got some images here. Let me pick that one. It's a PNG there. I'll take PNGs in different graphics, and you can see I go okay, and there it is. I can move it around. I can size it differently, and I can put it over here. And that's how you get your images. Now you can see here it's a little bit transparent. That's because of PNG, and PNG will allow you to have a transparent background. So you can do that there, and if I do this, it goes in front because it goes in front of the name. So if I wanted to, I can come here and I can make my name in front. Okay, if I wanted to do that. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory there. Now, if we go back to my scenes, so here's demo. Now, over here you have your scene transitions, and it's on fade. So then when I change my scene, it fades in, fades out. Now what I want to do is I can go over to studio mode, and there you go, and this one here is what will be streaming. This is my next one. So if you have multiple ones and you're a little bit unsure about where you're going next, you can go to studio mode, and then whatever I click here is what I'm looking at preview, but it hasn't come, it's not live yet. So if I wanted to kind of like say I'm talking to you and I want to kind of see what my next scene is, I want to make sure I'm in scene. You can do this, and then just click transition, and bang, it's now transitioned to that one, and then now this is in preview. So it's a nut little thing, but for our purposes, we are just going to take it off and just use whatever's live. Now, one other thing, I need for the demo. All this done is it's just added the camera, but it hasn't added any audio. So we need to add audio. That's a good thing here. So go here, say plus, go to audio input capture, and I will say microphone. I have a microphone connected here. I say okay. I look at my devices, and you can see I can either have the audio from one of the microphones, and this is important if you have one of the video cameras. Why this is important: if you have multiple cameras, and like for instance, I have a camera on my screen, then I have a camera over on my work desk. I don't want. I can have a microphone lapel on me, or I can transfer over to the microphone of the other camera. So if I go to the other camera, I can change the microphone to that. Now, I will just go to the Yeti one. Here you go. And then you can see here, here's the volume of my Yeti. I can reduce the volume if I want to, just if it's too loud, or commute it. So you can also add your desktop. So if you have anything that's from your desktop, you can add it on there, and what will happen is the volume from your computer will also go there. So you may want to sometimes mute your computer, or have it on if you want to. So now you can see it. Now let's do start streaming. So let's go back here. So this is our little live that we had set up. Now this is not live right now, and it won't go live until I press start streaming and then I press go live. So right now, this is one of the fun things of using the software. If I go here and I click on start streaming, and I go back to here, my page, in a few seconds you will see, bang, I have now started streaming. The quality will be better once you go live. This is just because it's just preview, it's just like that. But here it shows you what are my video bit rate. It's about 2.5, which is about what I organize, and the frame rate and the resolution side. Now, typically you go here, put in what your heading is, demo, and then when I press go live, it will actually go live. But we're not going to press go live because I don't want to go live. But so your streaming will be, you can actually see what your streaming will look like, which is a nice little thing to do. If I go back now you will see a delay. The delay can be up to a minute or 2 minutes. So don't get fooled by this. And then when you go live, as soon as you go live, this will go black, and whatever you're recording will start to go live. But you won't see it here. You won't see it on this screen for a few seconds, depending on how long it takes. So don't be scared. If you say go live, this will go blank, and then it will catch up to your streaming. Okay, so now if you go back and I stop streaming, you will see that it will go blank in a sec. There you go, and gone back. Now, one thing you need to also be conscious of: you can start streaming and then start recording, and that will record to your hard disk, which is nice. Okay, so one other little thing. Let me show you some of the nice things about scenes. That maybe you only have one camera, maybe you only have one scene, but go to the different scenes, you have different things. Sometimes I'll create a front page or intro. Okay, and let me put that up to the beginning. You can see there. And then for that, I may just go and have an image, and I'll just say intro image. Say okay. Go back there to browse. I find this one. I open that up, and bang. So now I have an image that fits the screen. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, so if you have like a series of different videos you do, like I do sometimes, I'll have this as my banner, and then I'll just add text for each new video I do. And so let's go over here, and I'll just say, I'll say demo text, and I'll say OBS demo. Let's use a different font. What's funky here? Let's black out. I don't know. No, let's Broadway. Yeah, let's do Broadway. And then I'll go to 72. Say okay. And you can see it up there now, because this could be on a white background. I'll change it to black. And change it there. Say okay. And that's all I nearly need. I say okay. And there you go. And so now I can create different scenes. If I go back and I'm doing another video, I just go back and I just change my demo text to something else, but the graphics will remain the same. You can do a whole bunch of things there. And then what I'll do, demo text, I'll add some audio. I go to media. I'll say background audio. I'll go okay. I'll go here, and I got some little background audio there that my son created for me. and I can loop. So when it gets to the back, it'll just loop back and say okay. So now you can see here that something's playing. You won't be able to hear it because I've got it muted, and I might bring it down a bit so it's not blasting people's ears. Like that. Okay, so if I do that now, I go live, what will happen is this will now come up. So if I'm getting ready and I want to start at some point, I'll start with this thing and then that'll play and they'll have. Now, I have an image. You can actually put a graphic there if you want, a video. And so you can, if you have your own little intro video, you can do that. So then when we're ready, there's no audio playing from the microphones. So all I'll hear, you can talk and say, hey, we're getting ready. And then when I do this, it'll fade in and there we go. And then now my microphone's on. You can see my microphone. Okay, and then I go to my next scene. You can see my microphone here. That's the one I'm using. Just, if you didn't believe it, tap, tap, tap. Okay, and that's it. So there's lots of functionality here. There's tons of fun. I added some of the things you've seen. I've seen that little animation. I created animation with my Adobe Creative Cloud. You can go down to there's lots of little tools you can use. You can do animate mobile package, and they'll allow you to animate graphics and do different things. So the one where you see a little rocket, I did it in there, and then I just brought it in here, and the background was all from Alf channel. I'm gonna do character animation, which is I'll do sometime in the future. But you can bring in videos and all kinds of stuff, and so yeah, so it's a good tool. It's great for free, and if you want to kind of step up your lives, this is a good way of doing it. Okay, well, that's all for me. I will go on there so I can say goodbye. And if you have any questions or there's things that you want to do, you want to add, you want to say, how do I do this, how do that, I'll create other videos and maybe we can add a few more things there. So hopefully that was helpful to you. And that's all for me. So bye.